Understand English but can't speak?
Speak simple.
Speak confident.
English Boost.
Boost your English.
Welcome back to English Boost, friends. Did you know that nearly 60% of homeowners face a plumbing emergency at least once a year? Today, Sarah and I are diving into those everyday moments when something breaks at home and you have to call for help. We'll keep the pace slow and natural, perfect for beginners who want real-life English practice.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah from sunny California. I'm excited to share my recent faucet fiasco and hear Alex's stories about leaky pipes and stubborn appliances. In this episode, we'll explore how to describe the problem, ask the right questions, and set up an appointment in English. By the end, you'll feel confident making that call without a panic attack.
We'll break the episode into 3 clear parts. First, identifying the problem and the quick fixes you can try. Second, the step-by-step language for calling a plumber or repair tech. And third, pro tips that save you money and stress. Along the way, we'll sprinkle in role plays, funny anecdotes, and useful vocabulary. Ready to turn those nervous whispers into clear, confident sentences? Let's get started.
Exactly, Alex. We'll also compare DIY attempts with professional help, so you'll know when it's time to pick up the phone. Plus, we'll give you a handy checklist of phrases you can copy-paste into your own calls. Stay tuned, because the best part is coming up next, a live mock call that shows how easy it can be.
But here's what's really interesting. Many learners freeze up because they think they need perfect grammar, yet the key is clarity and calm. We'll demonstrate that even a few simple words can get the job done. So Sarah, shall we jump into our first story about that dreaded midnight faucet?
Absolutely. And that's just the beginning. You'll see how a tiny drip can turn into a full-blown English lesson. Let's dive into the nighttime leak that had me sprinting for a towel and a dictionary.
Picture this, Sarah. It's 2 a.m., I'm half asleep, and suddenly water starts spraying from the kitchen sink like a mini fountain. My heart races, and the first thing I think is, how do I stop this without flooding the apartment? I reach for the shut-off valves under the sink, but they're rusted and won't budge. That's when I realized I needed a plan B. Call for help in English.
Wow, Alex, that sounds stressful. When you face a sudden leak, what's the very first thing you should say to yourself before picking up the phone? I usually tell myself to stay calm and describe the problem in 3 simple words. Sink is leaking. Then I locate the address and the best time for a visit. It's amazing how a clear mental checklist can turn panic into action.
Exactly, Sarah. The next step is to turn off the main water supply if the local valves are stuck, which buys you time and shows the plumber you've tried a basic fix. I always mention that in the call. I've turned off the main valve, but the faucet is still dripping. It signals responsibility and helps the technician prepare the right tools. What do you think, Alex? Should we add any other detail?
Great point, Alex. Adding the type of water, hot or cold, and the severity, dripping versus spraying, gives the plumber a clearer picture. For example, I'd say, cold water is spraying from the faucet and I hear a steady drip. That way, they can guess whether it's a washer issue or a pipe problem before arriving. And that's where the real game changer is. Precise description saves time and money.
Speaking of DIY, I once tried to fix a stubborn toilet that wouldn't flush by watching a YouTube tutorial. I bought a plunger, some rubber gloves, and even poured baking soda and vinegar down the bowl, hoping for a miracle. After 15 minutes of fizzing and no improvement, I accepted defeat and called a plumber. The lesson? Knowing when to stop the DIY and call a professional is crucial, especially for beginners learning English under pressure.
I can relate, Alex. My own faucet repair attempt turned into a comedy of errors. I tangled my wrench, dropped a screwdriver, and still heard that annoying drip. I felt a bit embarrassed, but the plumber was friendly and didn't judge at all. He explained the O-ring was worn out and replaced it in 10 minutes, while I practiced saying, "The O-ring needs replacement." It was a win-win for my sink and my English.
Now let's role play a simple call. Imagine I'm dialing Johnson's Plumbing and you're Maria, the receptionist. Ready, Sarah? Hello, Johnson's Plumbing. This is Maria speaking.
Hello, Maria. This is Alex. My kitchen sink is leaking badly and I've turned off the main valve, but the water is still dripping.
I'm sorry to hear that. When did the leak start, and can you describe if it's hot or cold water? It started last night and it's cold water spraying.
Can you send someone tomorrow morning around 9 a.m.? My address is 123 Oak Street, apartment 2B, downtown.
Sure, we'll be there at 9 a.m. The service call is 100 plus parts. Great, thank you. And just like that, the call is done in under a minute with simple, confident English. What do you think, Sarah? Could we make it even shorter?
I think it's already pretty concise, Alex. The key phrases: my sink is leaking. Can you send someone? And what's the cost? Cover the essentials. Listeners can practice these lines and feel ready for real situations. Plus, using polite greetings and thank yous adds a friendly tone that service people appreciate. Ready for another scenario?
Let's switch to a washing machine that won't spin. I'll be Jake from Fix It Appliances, and you're the caller, Sarah. Hello, Fix It Appliances, Jake speaking.
Hi, Jake. My washing machine is broken. It won't spin and the clothes stay wet after the cycle.
I'm sorry to hear that. When did this start, and did you hear any unusual noises? It started this morning and it just beeps without spinning.
Can you come to 456 Pine Road, Unit 5, near the beach? I'm available at 2 p.m. today.
We'll be there at 2 p.m. The service fee is 80 plus any parts. Thank you so much, Jake. See how the same structure works for any appliance, right?
Exactly, Alex. The pattern stays the same. State the problem, give details, ask for a time, and confirm the cost. That's a powerful template for all repair calls. Now, let me share a real call that made my heart race. I found a local plumber's number online, dialed, and heard a fast-talking voice on the other end. I froze and managed only, sink, water, leak?
The plumber laughed kindly and said, "Take your time, miss. Tell me what's happening." He asked, "Is it hot or cold water? Dripping or spraying?" I checked and answered, "Cold water, spraying a bit." He diagnosed a faulty washer and scheduled a visit for the next day, which was a huge relief. What's particularly interesting is how patient professionals are with non-native speakers.
That's comforting, Alex. It shows that clear, simple English is enough. You don't need perfect grammar. The plumber also explained the part he'd replace, an O-ring, and I learned a new word right then. Knowing a few technical terms can boost your confidence the next time you describe a problem. And that's just the beginning of our toolbox.
Let's broaden the scope to other common household issues. For example, a fridge that isn't cooling can ruin food quickly. You could say, "My fridge is warm inside and the milk is spoiling." Adding the model number, which is usually on a sticker inside, helps the technician bring the right parts. Have you ever had to mention a model number, Sarah?
Yes, Alex. When my sister's fridge stopped cooling, I told the repair guy, "The model is XYZ123, and the interior temperature stays at 25 degrees. He immediately knew it was a condenser issue and fixed it in under an hour. That quick detail saved us a costly service call. It's a perfect example of how a small piece of information can make a big difference.
Another summer nightmare is a broken air conditioner. You could phrase it as, "My AC is running but not blowing cold air." Mentioning the unit's age or any strange noises helps the technician diagnose a refrigerant leak or a dirty filter. In Texas, a malfunctioning AC feels like a heat wave, so prompt service is essential. What tip would you add for listeners, Sarah?
I'd suggest checking the thermostat settings first and saying, "The thermostat is set to 72 degrees, but the room stays warm." That lets the repair person know you've tried the basics. Also ask, "Do I need a new filter?" Because a clogged filter is a common, inexpensive fix. Simple questions can prevent unnecessary repairs and keep your English practical.
Sometimes emergencies strike at odd hours, like a burst pipe in winter. You might call and say, "My pipe burst in the bathroom. Water is flooding the floor." Adding the time of day, "It happened at 2 a.m., conveys urgency. The plumber may charge an emergency fee, but the damage prevention is worth it. Have you ever faced a 2 a.m. call, Sarah?
I have, Alex. My basement pipe burst, and I called an emergency plumber who arrived within an hour. I told him, "There's water everywhere, and the floor is soaked." He quickly shut off the main valve and started the repair, saving my home from serious water damage. The experience taught me the value of staying calm and using clear, concise English under pressure.
Let's lighten the mood with a funny fix, a garbage disposal that ate a metal spoon. You could call and say, "My disposal swallowed a spoon and now makes a buzzing sound." The technician will likely laugh and say, "Don't worry, we'll fish it out." Humor can ease tension and make the conversation more pleasant for both sides. Isn't that a great way to turn a mishap into a memorable story?
Absolutely, Alex. I once called about an oven light that went out. I said, "The oven light is broken and I can't see the food." The electrician arrived, unscrewed the bulb, and was done in 5 minutes. I felt a bit embarrassed, but he reassured me that it's a common issue. These small victories build confidence in speaking English for repairs.
We can also address everyday appliance quirks, like a dishwasher that leaves plates wet. You might say, "My dishwasher isn't drying the dishes and they come out damp." Suggest checking the rinse aid and the filter first. Then ask, "Do you think a heating element might be faulty?" This shows you've tried basic troubleshooting before calling for help.
And don't forget the dryer that won't heat. A simple phrase works. My dryer is running, but the clothes stay cold and damp. Mention that you cleaned the lint trap, which is a common cause, and then ask, could the heating element be broken? Providing that detail helps the technician bring the right replacement part right away.
Let's compile the key phrases we've practiced. Hi, I need help with, it's not working because, can you come on daytime? And how much will it cost? Repeating these in your daily life will make them second nature. Do you agree, Sarah, that repetition is the secret to fluency?
Definitely, Alex. Repetition, plus real-world context, turns abstract vocabulary into usable language. I encourage listeners to pause the episode now and practice saying, "My faucet is leaking, can you send someone tomorrow?" aloud, just like we did. The more you vocalize, the more confident you'll become when the real call comes. Ready for a quick practice round?
All right, imagine you're calling about a broken heater in winter. Try this. "Hello, my heater is not turning on and it's freezing inside." Then ask, "Can a technician come today?" And finish with, "What will the service fee be?" Simple, right? Listeners, give it a try and notice how natural it feels after a few repetitions.
I love that, Alex. It's amazing how a few short sentences can solve a big problem and boost your English at the same time. Remember, you don't need to sound perfect. Clarity and politeness go a long way. If you ever get stuck, you can always ask, "Could you repeat that, please?" to keep the conversation flowing.
One more tip. If you're unsure about a technical term, it's okay to describe the symptom instead. Say, "There's a strange noise when I turn on the washing machine." Rather than trying to name the part you don't know, the technician will ask follow-up questions and guide you. This approach reduces anxiety and keeps the dialogue moving smoothly.
What if you don't feel confident speaking English at all? You could use a translation app for the initial text, but it's better to practice speaking because the tone and urgency can't be captured in writing. A quick rehearsal with a friend or even in front of a mirror can make a huge difference. Plus, most service people appreciate the effort you're making.
To wrap up, let's each give a final practice sentence. I'll go first. "My toilet is overflowing and I need immediate assistance." Your turn, Sarah?
Sure thing, Alex. My air conditioner stopped cooling, and I'd like to schedule a repair for tomorrow morning. Simple, direct, and ready to send. Listeners, try crafting your own sentence about any household issue you've faced this week. It's a great way to reinforce today's lessons.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into calling for household repairs. We've covered everything from identifying the problem, trying quick fixes, role-playing calls, and mastering key phrases. Remember, confidence comes from practice, not perfection. What do you think, Sarah, about the next steps for our audience?
I think our listeners now have a solid script they can adapt to any repair situation, plus the confidence to speak slowly and clearly. They'll know which details to include, how to ask about cost and timing, and even how to add a friendly tone. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll tackle scheduling appointments for medical visits in English. Until then, keep practicing.
Let's recap the main takeaways. Describe the problem in simple terms, mention key details like hot or cold water, give your address and preferred time, and ask about cost. Use the phrase, "Can you send someone?" and remember to stay calm and polite. These steps turn a stressful situation into a smooth English conversation.
Thank you for joining us on English Boost today. We hope you feel more prepared to call a plumber, electrician, or any repair service in English. Your feedback helps us improve, so let us know what topics you'd like to hear next. Keep practicing, and you'll notice your confidence growing with every call.
If you found this episode helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with friends who are also learning English. Comment below with your own repair call story. We love hearing real experiences. Your engagement fuels more content that meets your learning needs.
Before you go, take a moment to practice the key phrases we discussed. Say them out loud, record yourself, and notice how natural they become. Consistent practice is the secret sauce for fluency, especially in real-world situations like these.
Next week, we'll explore how to schedule a doctor's appointment in English, covering medical vocabulary and polite request forms. It's another essential skill for everyday life, so you won't want to miss it. Mark your calendars and stay tuned.
That's all for today, friends. Keep those phones handy, stay curious, and remember, every conversation is a step toward mastery. Bye for now.